The sound mind, said the schoolmaster of ancient Rome. The world of the Romans changed slowly. The flexible mind, says the modern educator. The world of today changes overnight. The schools of America, flexible, of no set pattern, schools of a democracy. Contemporary youth, boys, raw material today, the stuff of America's tomorrow. That tomorrow no school can predict, but it can give to youth the flexibility of mind, the stoutness of heart to meet changes as they come. Give them the flexibility and foundation upon which the colleges may hope to build thoughtful citizens. Citizens who do not cease to be educated because they do not cease to think things through for themselves. Flexibility of mind is a prime requisite for success in a changing world. It is needful also to develop in present-day youth the character, the ruggedness which a simpler, hardier mode of living gave to their forebears. Stern necessity gave to Culver's founder in the days of his youth the stamina that comes from early rising and hard work, taught him to stand on his own feet. He wanted his school to give to youth of easier circumstances in an easier age the fiber that life itself had given him. So he made his school military, with reveilles, democracy, simple living. To the founder's concept of simple living through military training, those who followed him added the concept of the flexible mind. A blend of the two, the sound scholastic with the fiber-building military, is the theme of this picture. The cadet's alarm clock, the boom of the morning gun. Early to rise, the clock says 6:40, and the bugle says, I can't get him up. I can't get him up at all. But it does. The flag is raised, and the day begins. And behind scenes, there is activity aplenty. The boys get away to a clean start. Before breakfast, the cadet straightens his pleasant and simply furnished room. And he must do it well. On Sunday mornings, a tactical officer checks on the cadet's housekeeping with special thoroughness. A cadet's chifforobe has a place for everything except dust. And everything must be in its place. Inspection over, visitors drop in. Cadet friendships are real and lasting. Well, well, don't tell me you made it yourself. The mess hall is a light and cheerful place. The cadets have just marched in under the leadership of their cadet officers. They stand behind their chairs. The senior cadet captain asks the blessing and commands seats. The adjutant reads the orders and special announcements of the day. Then takes his post. The senior captains command rest. Everyone prepares for action. Backstage, the steward and the dietitian have decided what it shall be. The chefs dish up the savory food. The waiters fill their trays. and march to their appointed tables with swiftness and military precision. The air is filled with the happy voices of young males satisfying a healthy appetite. Proper food for the growing boy is important, but so also are the surroundings and atmosphere in which he partakes of it. Culver meals consist of a combination of good food and good fellowship. Classes begin at 8 a.m. There are 5 recitation periods of an hour each on weekdays, 3 on Saturday. The late afternoon and evening provide more study periods. Modern education measures the boy before it sets his tasks. It measures his ability, his interests, his personality. Culver, a pioneer in the field of educational testing, employs specialists in order to perform a most thoroughgoing job in this first step of the boy's development. Such careful scientific testing at the start ensures that there will be few misfits and more enthusiasm for learning, fewer frowns, more smiles. Modernly equipped classrooms in harmony with the teaching needs of the subject taught are provided each academic department. For example, this classroom in social science is no formal checkerboard of regimented desks and chairs. Rather, it has a friendly atmosphere, ideal for the exchange of ideas. The instructor is not just a listener, he is a guide, pointing the trail, helping students to forge ahead on their own. Here we see the head of the Department of Appraisal and Guidance in action. Scientific fact-finding is his job, plus making wise use of facts when he talks with a boy about his studies, his school life, or when he confers with the boy's teachers or his special counselor. The unique Culver guidance chart lying on the desk is a condensation in readily accessible form of facts concerning each boy's ability, interest, personality, weak points, strong. Parents find it interesting, convincing. The science courses are immensely popular. They cover a 5-year span. In this physics laboratory, the narrow angle of a camera lens can show but little of the completeness of modern scientific equipment. But it can give us a close-up of the eagerness of youth to learn when interested. Again, we find an instructor who is a guide and teacher combined. Alert to lend help where help is needed, he moves about distributing his attention, a helpful comrade to the beginners in his field. Close by is the science library. Here, as in all of the other departmental libraries, books pertaining to the subject field being studied are close at hand. The departmental libraries are supplemented by the large central reference library, where there are many more books for wider reading. But to explore the mystery of living things, their origin, there must be the urge to go beyond books, beyond even the laboratory, in search of the paths of truth. The biology classes provide that urge. The field of research for these classes is bounded only by nature herself. The boy spends some of his time in a vivarium like this to ponder the miracle of growing things. Another time we'll find him in the bird sanctuary, in the woods, or beside a lake. He returns to the laboratory to digest the material he has collected and to make thoughtful conclusions concerning it, to discuss with his instructors the wonders of a living cell under the microscope. The chemistry laboratory offers another broad field for valuable adventure. Here the boy learns the mystery behind the bubbling of things, the flash, the smoke and the fumes of them, amid which the cadet finds joy in the search for knowledge, and through which he gains the open sesame to new worlds. For those who have special aptitude for science, wish to work on advanced projects, there are individual laboratories, such as this one. Learning is one step. Using that knowledge as a basis upon which to progress further is a more important step. In this modernistic classroom, we see boys preparing for their college board examinations. Practically 100% of Culver graduates go to college. Last year, 433 graduates were to be found in 131 colleges. The life of the cadet is many-sided. As background to sound scholastic training, there is the military mode of life. In the afternoon, cadets sally forth to drill. Military instruction occupies an hour and a quarter, 4 afternoons per week. The 3 military units at Culver offer the chance for each boy to find something that appeals to his special interest. The mechanically minded may select the field artillery with its dual appeal of horse and mechanism. The artilleryman learns to care for animals and to harness them. Boys once acquired this sort of thing on the farm. The artilleryman also learns to ride as well as to drive. He learns the mechanism of guns, the use of instruments of precision, telescopes, range finders, learns mathematics by plotting firing data. Many choose the infantry with its precision of movement, its shoulder-to-shoulder cooperation. In this unit, the boy acquires resourcefulness, confidence in himself. The infantry solves its own housing problem, travels on its own, even to carrying its house on its back. The infantry cadet learns to handle a rifle smartly on the parade ground and expertly on the rifle range. As part of the infantry, a motorized weapons company adds a modern touch, a new angle of interest for the modern boy. For the horse-minded boy, there is the cavalry with its smartness and dash. A fine school for the aspiring horseman. The beginner is taught the rudiments of the walk, the trot, and the gallop. He learns patience and perseverance in the control of the animal and develops a supple body, acquiring an effective and graceful seat. Then he progresses to jumping and the finer points of horsemanship. And here they come, the whole troop at the gallop over the jumps. On the picket line, as in the stable, the boy learns to care for his mount, learns to place a saddle so it will not gall. In the field, he ministers to the horse's needs before his own, grooms him, leads him to water. Chosen from the cavalry unit by tests of horsemanship are the members of the famous Black Horse Troop. If the cadet is musically inclined, he may join the Culver Band, a colorful, inspiring organization. The various military units are fathered by tactical officers. The chief job of each is that of counselor for his group. He checks constantly on their progress and from time to time checks even their weight. Dictates to their parents informative, constructive letters. On Sunday, in the spring and fall, parents and friends flock to see the Cadet Corps in full dress parade. By commencement, they are in top form. The senior cadet captain receives the parade. The band marches down the line. First it passes the infantry. Next, the motorized weapons company is background for the music. Then the field artillery receives its share of tuba and trombone. Finally, the spirited black horses of the cavalry prick their ears to the beating drums. After the manual of arms, with its click and precision, the cadet officers march to the front and center. These men have been carefully selected on the basis of their character, military and academic records, as well as for their leadership. The troops pass in review. The band leads the column, sends its stirring strains back to following comrades to give lilt to their marching. The infantry companies pass the reviewing stand with flashing brasses and rhythmic step. Those faultless lines mean more than the mechanics of drill. They are products of the fine striving of boys that their organization may excel. Something of their esprit, something of the glory of their youth, grips the hearts of the oldsters as these boys march by. The smart command car of the Motorized Weapons Company passes next. The sputtering motorcycles. The 6 cadet-operated trucks. This unit is Culver's latest acquisition, the gift of the Culver Fathers Association. Now the caissons go rolling along, and the band strikes up the tune that is dear to the hearts of all artillerymen. Erect and immobile, the cadets sit the caisson and cannon seats. The cavalry unit is the last to pass, just a little proud of all the celebrities they have escorted on occasions of state. General Pershing, Marshal Foch, President Wilson, and many others. For this pageant of youth, the Culver campus gives a beautiful and inspiring setting. After drill, cadets go out en masse for sports. There's something for the brawny, for the slender, the tall, the small. The fall finds not only the varsity squad in action, but 9 company teams striving for the coveted honor of the intramural championship. But when the varsity plays, the corps is behind them to a man. Fight, Culver, fight! They play hard and clean. First down and 10 to go. Aha! 5 more yards off left tackle. On the hills hard by, there is a beautifully kept golf course. Look out, Dad, when your boy takes you on at the country club next summer. He's been practicing up on you all winter. A distinctive feature of the academy is its requirement that each boy shall be taught the fundamentals of sports that carry over to after college days. They range from golf to badminton, sports that will be sources of recreation and health in the potentially paunchy period of later life. In the winter months, this huge recreation building is the principal training ground, and what a training ground it is. Half of this building has a dirt floor with cinder track, jumping pits, and golf nets. The other half has maple flooring, ideal for basketball courts. Here, fencing instructions, gymnastics, and calisthenics are taught in the winter program. Mass calisthenics take care of most posture defects. But in some cases, the personal touch of the expert is needed for the straight back, the rounded chest, the building up of this muscle or that. The Academy employs the most modern methods of posture correction. Each boy is studied individually and given special exercises to correct his faults. In the galleries are the boxing quarters and the boxers, learning the fundamentals of the manly art. They work out on the punching bags, spar with each other under instructors, hoping to master the hooks and jabs. Learn to take it on the chin with a smile. Qualify for the intramural boxing matches, one of which we see in progress here. Also in the recreation building are the wrestling mats and the wrestlers. Culver teachers must have as sidelines a hobby, a sport that brings them sympathetic understanding of boys, contacts with them beyond the classroom. On the 6 squash rackets courts, an opportunity is offered to acquire skill in this increasingly popular sport. There's a swimming pool, too, a lake indoors, full of action and big enough for plenty of it. Swimming is recognized as one of the best all-round bodybuilders. How fine in the days after school and college to be able to swim with ease, dive with as fine form as these boys exhibit. Under roof also for winter activity is this giant riding hall where cavalrymen may play polo and develop skill in taking the jumps. The hall is big enough also for the field artillery, which now appears on the scene. We see them here galloping through their intricate maneuvers, passing swiftly from formation to formation as the soft brown tan bark sprays from the whirling wheels. But why stay indoors for sports, even in winter, when there is snow and tobogganing to be had, as well as a bit of ski-joring? When within a stone's throw is a glistening, frozen lake for skating, hockey. Or how about the thrill of a breathtaking sail in the swift-moving ice boats of the modern type? In spring, a new calendar of sports rolls around. 2 indoor tracks, this one out of doors, give plenty of opportunity for the fleet of foot. The pole vaulter has high aspirations and achieves them in fine form. This high jumper also rises to the occasion. Another first will win the meet. Strike one. Every company has its team. The excellent facilities for tennis at Culver, the National Lawn Tennis Association awarded the National Boys and Juniors Tournament to Culver in 1928. Since then, it has been an annual event. Rowing, like polo, is unusual in preparatory school sports. Culver is fortunate in being able to offer both. It offers them as a further opportunity for widening interest in sports. In the fall and in the spring, the bark of the coxswain echoes along the beautiful shorelines of Lake Maxinkuckee. But the rowers see only the rhythm of the bending backs that speed the shell on its way. There is careful coaching in fundamentals, watchfulness against overstrain, and complete equipment. There is a fleet of 8-oared shells and a specially designed coaching launch. Many a boy who won his varsity letter in college got his first rowing start at Culver. For the cadets' leisure time, there are hobbies. No up-and-going school neglects them. They unlock many latent interests. At Culver, hobbies range from model airplanes to dogs and field trials. Here, a hobbyist goes fishing with his candid camera. A complete darkroom with all the accessories is part of the science department equipment. Here, one may develop and print his own pictures, mix his own chemicals. Recreation periods in winter find the game room crowded. We hear the thunder of the ball on the alley, racing toward a hoped-for strike. In the game room, too, are plenty of tables for billiards, pool, and table tennis. Plenty of opportunity for the wielder of the cue. Refreshments are to be had in the adjacent canteen. Well, business seems good. The customer's pleased. Oh, boy, that looks good. Freckles, if you tackled your Latin like that, you'd eat it up. Attractive club rooms enhance the social side of off-duty barrack life. A cheerful group, a warming fire inside, a bit snowy out. The troop barrack has 2 centers of sociability. This is one of them. If these troopers think they're going to have a quiet hour, they're badly mistaken. The troop syncopators are on the loose. Note their homemade timpani. Some room is minus its wastebaskets. Here's another club room. There seems to be a bit of studiousness here. A letter from home, a friend to tell about it, and an athlete accommodating a young admirer with his autograph. The Memorial Library, Culver's shrine of patriotism and culture. This is the Great Hall. Here a scholar is host to inquiring minds, a kindly guide among books, a keeper of the keys to culture, tradition. Here off this gallery are the portraits of Culver's valiant dead, the Gold Star Room, and beside its door, against white stone, clustered flags, gift of the Allies of 17. Through grilled iron gates, one enters the main reference library. Its shelves are well and wisely filled. Cadets come here to study, come in recreation hours, lured by the enticement of well-selected books, come encouraged by a librarian never too busy to help them find what they seek. A librarian never too stiff to stoop even to a bottom shelf to find something that may exalt a boy. Characteristic of the simple beauty and dignity of the Memorial Library is this stairway for the feet of boys. Who may tell what paths those feet may follow, what distant goals they may attain? In the Memorial Building is this beautiful room with its rare furnishings, its portraits by noted artists. Here cadets may read, widen their circle of friends, receive parents and visitors, attend vesper services on Sunday evenings, play or listen to a bit of music, or just relax amid pleasant surroundings that reflect culture and good taste. The months slip by. Commencement comes. Cadets are on their toes, eager to present themselves at their best to the host of parents and friends who pour in from coast to coast. Inside this spacious building, the honors convocation is about to begin. First in the processional come the banners of the member schools of the Cum Laude Society, corresponding to the Phi Beta Kappa of the colleges. Next march the graduates. The newly elected members of Cum Laude follow. Finally, come with stately tread the faculty in caps and gowns and the board of directors of the Culver Educational Foundation. They take their appointed places and the stage is now set. The colors are saluted by a roll of drums and by the trumpeters sounding to the colors, as is always done at convocation and chapel services. The winners of honors mount the stage, salute, receive their well-earned awards. There is the generous applause of comrades, the shining eyes of parents, the smile of a girl who has come for the final ball. What more could one want? Next day, beside the lake, the faculty again in procession. Graduation day. Cadet life draws to a close. They are going from here to more than 100 colleges from coast to coast. The flags and guidons are paraded, symbols of country, school, loyalty, and service. Symbols of the ideals of cadet days. chairman of the faculty calls their names. They salute their flag and then receive their diplomas. Go through the iron gate through which only a Culver graduate may pass. Flexible in mind, sound in character, fit for the future. They say goodbye to their commanding officer. Cadet days are now in the land of Old Lang Syne. And now, with a rousing cheer, the ranks are broken.
Well, cadet, dismissed.
The school year is ended. But beyond the ended year is a vista of years to come. Their outlook seems bright and... Culver had its inception, a typically American inception, in the desire of a private citizen to render a service to American boys. And in so doing, to make some small return to a country that had given him the opportunity to succeed. The annals of American philanthropy are replete with enduring names of those who have been so moved, who have founded and fostered libraries and educational foundations, art galleries and institutions for research, social service, foundations for the advancement of surgery and medicine, colleges and schools. The Culver Military Academy, some of whose Gothic towers and substantial buildings we now see, was founded by a man of modest fortune but great appreciation. In June 1932, his descendants, having sponsored the school until it won its place in the sun, then wisely gave it to posterity, gave Culver its broad acres on the shore of a lovely lake, gave its brick and mortar, gave the fruits of its years of thought and labor, a free gift to a trust foundation in perpetuity. Under that broader sponsorship, Culver dreams new dreams, devises new methods, builds for the future, while its banners move forward toward goals of greater usefulness, toward a greater Culver.